Welcome to this lesson titled The Beatitudes Part 3. It is part of the series, The Sermon on the Mount. My name is Kristen. I will be your narrator for this lesson. You may wonder, who can be a peacemaker? Does it take courage to follow the Beatitudes? In this lesson, we will review the background of the Beatitudes, then we will examine the 7th, 8th, and 9th Beatitudes, and we will discover their meaning in our life. Let's start with the first topic, background. In this icon, we see Jesus preaching the Sermon on the Mount. We can read an account of this event in the Bible, Book of Matthew, chapters 5 to 7. In the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus covered several topics. He presented the Beatitudes, how they developed from the Old to the New Testament, how we can maintain them through prayer and fasting, and how we can protect them from false prophets and other threats. In this lesson, we'll start with the first part, the presentation of the Beatitudes. The Beatitudes are the ninefold blessing of Christ. They start with, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, those who mourn, the meek, the righteous, the merciful, the pure in heart, the peacemakers, the persecuted, and the reviled." In this lesson, we will cover the 7th, 8th, and 9th Beatitudes. Let's explore the 7th Beatitude. The 7th Beatitude is, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God." It is good to be meek. It is even better to sow peace around oneself. But this is only possible for those who, within themselves, have already passed the previous stage, that of meekness. One needs to be at peace with oneself and with others. Without these two conditions, no one can share peace with others. For God is not the author of confusion, but of peace. For he himself is our peace, and this is why only peacemakers can be called children of God. In church, the priest is our peacemaker. Several times during the Divine Liturgy, the priest says, "Peace be to all," and the choir answers, "And to thy spirit." The greeting of peace is part of our prayer, handed down to us by Jesus. Our spirit needs to be at peace to be able to experience God. Let's move on to the 8th Beatitude. The 8th Beatitude is, "Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." To suffer for Christ is the highest feat anyone can accomplish. To deny him is the lowest downfall. Jesus said, "But whoever denies me, them I will also deny before my Father who is in heaven." They who deny Christ denies God and all that is authentic in humankind, for the true person is the image of God who has shone forth in Christ in all their purity and fullness. To deny Christ is also to deny oneself, what is best in oneself. In our life, we try not to deny Christ. When our spiritual attitudes are put to the test, we don't give in to fear. We turn to Christ for wisdom and courage. Let's now discover the 9th Beatitude. The 9th Beatitude is, "Blessed are you when they revile and persecute you, and say all kinds of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceedingly glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so they persecuted the prophets who were before you." Those who suffer persecution for Christ walk the road of the prophets, saints, and martyrs. Sometimes in our daily life, just doing or upholding what is right makes us a target, a subject of painful ridicule or mistreatment. In response, we become peacemakers. The beauty of spiritual peace over chaos starts to prevail. Let's examine the meaning of these Beatitudes in our life. We can refer to a sports analogy for clarification of these Beatitudes. We have blessed are the peacemakers, the persecuted, and the reviled. In sports, the referee can be seen as a peacemaker who upholds the rules of the game. Then, each player is confronted head-on with their adversary from the opposing team. Each player must have courage. When the confrontation takes place, it can get messy, and even more courage is needed. These 3 Beatitudes can be summarized as a process of courage. When our spiritual attitudes are challenged head-on, we need courage. Overall, the Beatitudes can be grouped into 3 phases. The first phase is self-knowledge. By being poor in spirit or humble, we can face our strengths and weaknesses. The second phase is self-transformation. Through righteousness and mercy, we become pure in heart. The third phase is courage. We become peacemakers and gain the courage needed to face challenges to our spiritual attitudes. In this lesson, we learned about the third phase, courage. There is a hymn that teaches us the Beatitudes. Let's listen to it.
In thy kingdom remember us, O Lord, when thou comest into thy kingdom. Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they that hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are they that make peace, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice, rejoice, and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven.
Thank you for participating in this lesson.